Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Green Wisdom Health Show. I'm Janet Lewis.
And I'm Dr. Lewis.
And we're bringing you a very fun show today called Escaping Fear and Finding Joy. Because haven't we all had enough fear out there? And one week to the next, it's totally different. And we just think maybe it's time to talk to you guys a little bit about how to find joy in all of this process that is a big life changer for all of us right now. And, you know, I think we've all had enough of the bad stuff shoved down our throats for a little while, and I'm sure there's more to come. But there's also a whole lot of good stuff to shove down our throats, too. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about that. Some are supplements. Some are inspirational things. Some are things we did back when we were kids. So some of y'all are too young to have experienced any of the doing things before internet and all, then get ready because it's going to be a really exciting show. And Dr. Lewis is here to be your inspirational leader and have us forge on. So, Dr. Lewis, please entertain us with your words of joy and fun.
You know, Jen, it sets me up and it scares the holy bejesus out of me. For those of you, the issue with podcast is you may listen to this many, many months away from when this craziness is happening. This is March the 17th, 2020, in the middle of the coronavirus scare. And, you know, I can't believe how many people are asking me for my advice. How do you think this is going down? I had a guy this morning, he's a multi-gazillionaire. And he wants my advice on what to do because he's all worried. And I said, well, number one, you can choose peace instead of this. And there is a scripture that says, and it depends on where you're reading it, but it says a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. Well, yes, we should take precautions. Yeah, well, we should have been washing our hands many years ago. Yeah, if you're sick as heck, don't go anywhere and cough and snort and snot and sneeze on people. But there's also another side to this coin. You know, there's a scripture that says, be bold, be brave, be courageous. I think that's Joshua, if I remember right. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to talk about. And you got to realize that sometimes people fan the flames of baloney. And sorry, I feel strongly about this. Hey, those of you that aren't on Shooting Straight with Dr. Lewis, you need to get on there because I put a really, really good picture of me on there the other day, and somebody said it was something about a smart aleck.
Well, that's on your Facebook closed group, correct? You're Shooting Straight with Dr. Lewis?
I guess. I called it Spacebook for a year. I don't know what it is, but yeah, y'all need to do it.
Yeah, he's wearing a sweatshirt on there that has a picture of a mule on it, and
in front of it said bad.
Yep, and some people said, I've never seen you wear that in the office, and I said, really? I see him wear that every day in the office, and it comes out under the guise of him speaking. So you guys get to actually be a part of that, which we're pretty excited about, that you continue to share this with everyone.
Yeah, we want to be an inspiration. But then I talked to people like Rebecca and Richard. They were in Yuma last time I talked to them, and then today they were back in California. Those are the wise people because they take prudent action. They take plenty of supplements. They're very consistent with it. Rebecca's about 2 weeks older than me, which makes you young and beautiful, Rebecca. But her lab looks really, really good because she took precautions. So, one of the things is turn off the TV. They call it a boob tube for a reason, or at least turn it on something that's inspirational. And people say, well, what about they're trying to isolate us and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, well, you know what may actually happen? We might actually begin to heal because we can't go here and can't go there. We've not been quarantined, but Janet and I just went to a restaurant and there was not many people there, and they were like, thank you for coming in. Because if you succumb to fear, there's a lot of really good people that are going to go out of business. Now, we're not, but we're running out of things right and left. If you want some, you better order it. But now's the time for healing, I think, not just viral infections. I think we're going to heal in our spirit. I think what's going to happen is we're going to go back to that scripture, be still and know that I am God. That's Psalms, I think. You know, Janet says, you're half reverend and half smartass. And it's like, well, I'm not qualified to be a reverend, I promise you.
I didn't say the last part. I said you're half reverend and half healer. I said today we're getting the reverend side.
I love my wife. I adore my wife, but she's full of crap. When you don't believe what she just said, she's lying to you. What she says to me might be different than what she says to you. She's a doll. So we might all actually start to heal. And, you know, they're talking about social distancing. We've been unconsciously disconnected for years. And this has been going on many, many, many years before this so-called social distancing has come to the forefront into our consciousness. We are disconnected. We're too much on Facebook, whatever the heck it is. And we forget to do good things for other people. You need to take the time to uplift somebody. Like my sweet dear friend Debbie Sue said the other day something sweet. And she said, well, when it translated to question mark, but I put a heart there. She said, I wasn't questioning your, what you were saying or the efficacy of that. I said, oh, honey, I didn't take offense at all. She took the time to uplift me. Rebecca and Richard did today. Martin, I heard from him last night, and it's like, oh, geez, I love this guy. I hadn't heard from him from a long time. Then I hear Joe up in Saline, Michigan, said, blessings to you and your wife. We're praying for your peace. That's all we have to do. So if you get scared, it's because you're listening to too much crap. Yes, okay, we should follow some precautions. Of course we should. But you cannot be healthy if you're full of fear. It will not work. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. Be patient with others. You know, I'm a better driver than I used to be because I don't yell and scream and holler when these idiots don't know how to merge. They get with an entire lane right there and they sit there.
Well, there's not as many of them merging now because they're sure not out there. So,
yeah, well, I'm a lot more patient than I used to be. The thing about it is, anytime you have extra, now is the time you need to give it. And I said this on a very recent podcast. When I don't feel appreciated, I write thank you notes, or I make phone calls, or I text somebody and tell them how much I appreciate them. Appreciate means to push forward and grow in value. So that's very, very important. It's when I don't have enough money, I give more. And not having enough money is all perception anyway. So I went yesterday and I bought a new money clip that I thought was absolutely gorgeous and put some $100 bills in it. And I told Janet this morning, I said, this is weird as heck, but I'm supposed to give that to Rusty.
Yeah, not so much when you listen to the little voice that's inside you. It'll generally guide you to good, peaceful conclusions.
So, Rusty, you better come here and get it. I'm not coming to you.
But, there are a lot of people out there that are scared during this time because they're in fear of losing their jobs. They're in fear of a lot of things, and employment's a big one. And they don't know whether or not they're going to be able to have a job to go back to tomorrow. Like Dr. Lewis said, thankfully, because of what we do, it has opened people's eyes, not only the ones that were currently taking products, but people now are scared because there is no vaccine for it, that they're coming to us and literally cleaning out the shelves of all the immune things from across every company that is worth anything throughout the United States, which we're all rapidly trying to get it back in. But, now a lot of people go into, now we're trapped in this house. some are trapped with spouses they don't necessarily care for, which may be why they were running to start with. I'm not sure. They've got kids at home that they can't send anywhere, and
you realized it's not the teacher's problem.
Yeah, that my the ADD ADHD may be kicking in a little bit. Which
so now the next thing's going to happen. Y'all are going to flood the liquor stores. Toilet paper's gone. Now you're going to go to liquor to put up with your kids that you created. I'm just teasing.
But they're buying things and they're eating things that's making them think worse, right? I mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to start eating stuff that makes their thoughts not as good either.
Yeah, that's why I put on Shooting Straight with Dr. Lewis, me hoarding Snickers. I said, don't stress eat and hoard Snickers. I'm trying to be funny. And I didn't notice until later there was cases of Corona beer in the background. I thought that was funny. No, it's time to be happy. It's time to spread joy. And Janet had a lady talk to her yesterday, and she's a wonderful lady, love her, but she was so full of fear about things, and Janet may want to get further into the story, and it's like, if she came in this office, I don't give a damn what she thought. I would have grabbed her and hugged her. She needed it really, really bad. And for Martin, because of what's going on with him, I said, well, get Pantothenic Acid Complex, because pantothenic acid is B5. It helps calm down the adrenal glands, which is what, is getting overworked because of this stress, and that's mostly our perception rather than reality. Then it has Cordyceps. Now, Cordyceps, I said on one of my other things, I don't know what Janet's doing, but she was filming me. She put it somewhere, and I talked about Cordyceps is widely known in traditional Chinese medicine as a healer of respiratory issues, bronchi and lungs. It has Eleuthero Extract and Rhodiola. So this is a really, really calming. We've had several things that people say, well, that's like the peace of God in a bottle. Well, Pantothenic Acid Complex is one of them. And 5-HTP, that's like the peace of God in a bottle.
Yeah,
makes your husband easier to live with.
Right, and that helps with mood, weight, sleep. So when you're
binge eating,
the binge eating, because people I saw are going, around here, they're going to Sam's and they're hoarding some kind of foods, Lord. And I'm like,
one girl had an entire buggy stacked over and over. I mean, way up there, and nothing but oatmeal. It's like, okay, but. And then other people just had this other cereal. It's like, oh, God, that's the worst damn thing you could eat. But
and we tried to look around and find something to hoard. And I'm like...
pistachios.
Yeah, that's what we hoarded was pistachios.
Walnuts.
They come to our house. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. I don't have much to give here.
A healthy awakening.
Yeah, I thought, I'm not going to eat this stuff on a good day. If I'm... Hopefully Stephen knows still how to hunt, and we'll be able to go out and get a wild pig or something like that.
I can shoot a pig any day. It's illegal right now to shoot deer, although during the season I could shoot a deer. That's easy. That's why I quit it.
I thought half of that stuff that people are buying in there is going to depress them even more by the time they get through eating that and they're trapped in a house.
Yeah, that's the sugar thing, which lowers your immune system. And then when you get off of that sugar high and you go into the crash, well, so do your adrenal glands and so does your neurotransmitters. And one thing that we have that tends to work real well, and it's called Easy Relax. It's got the GABA, L-theanine, Ashwagandha, valerian root, and passion flower, and it's like, that's another piece of God in a bottle, and you kind of have to play with it. Some people say take 5 a day, split dosage, and some people do 1 or 2. It's just whatever you need, whatever you respond to, in a good way.
So let's give them some tips about being joyful, things that they can do at home that are joyful. Because
join Shooting Straight with Dr. Lewis. I'll fill you full of joy or something.
Because really the only reason we want anything in our lives, more money, more freedom, more love, more friendships, is that we think we'll experience more joy if we have those things.
To make us feel better.
Right. So why not make the choice to experience more joy now? This is a perfect time to get that started.
The point of power is always right now.
And while I realize there may be a few restrictions on some of these in place by your state.
Hey, you might find real joy, like why you married your wife. You never know.
You guys need to come to Texas where we don't experience some of these restrictions that are on you right now in some of the other places. So you can do things like decide this week to take a field trip somewhere that makes your heart sing.
Because our state parks are not closed down.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of this. Museum, maybe, I don't know. You got no more than 10 people.
Yeah, a lot of them are closed down.
You can take some kind of a class. You could even do a class online. Can learn something that way. Have a joy party. I think they used to call these
42 parties for my mother.
That's right.
42.
They were domino parties or they were card parties, and we laugh at that and we think, oh my God, they were so old and they didn't know what they were doing. But I really remember whenever I was younger, when we'd go to any kind of gathering, that's what we did. We ate and we played games together and we laughed, and it was some of the best memories that we've ever had because we were playing and we were laughing and we were interacting with each other.
Yeah, or go join a Baptist church, because to be a Baptist, you got to have a casserole dish, so the food's going to be good. I only pick on Baptist because I am one, so I'm not trying to be mean there.
So if you're saying, well, what's a joy party? How do I play it? Everyone, you just make up the rules as you go, but everyone has to bring at least one blank, and everyone has to share blank. Everyone has to participate in blank. Plan it out. Make it a potluck. Again, no more than 10 people. Have fun with it. On a budget, which probably a lot of us are now, take a book and go to a local park. And I had to make sure that our parks were still open before we did this, because some are not. I just heard some of the rest areas are closing as well. I'm not really sure what's up with that.
Yeah, wasn't it in Pennsylvania? It's like, well, geez, there's so dang many potholes on your toll roads in Pennsylvania.
You need a rest area to stop.
Yeah, you do, just to give your kidneys a break.
Yeah, but so far in Texas, our state parks and the local hiking trails in our little cities are still open. So you can go there with a good book and go take a walk, or go sit out in nature and drink a cup of tea.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a cold beer, but never mind. Sorry.
If you belong to a local gym, you go experience their sauna. Probably, I would think that's not great again with a bunch of people in it, but
yeah,
maybe if you're by yourself in there, that would be good.
Yeah, because you'd sweat out the toxins.
Have a dog, which we personally do, and I intend on doing this one because we have a really nice little park in our town. And you go to the local park trails and take your dog on a walk.
She takes us.
Yes, she does, but it makes us walk again, and it's one of the most enjoyable things we do. If you live by a lake or a river, you can find out what it costs to rent a canoe or a paddle boat and take one of those out. And we have a Caddo Lake here is close to us, and that is really a nice little trip to go take a little paddle boat ride.
Tyler State Park's a good one. Dangerfield. I mean, there's a lot of really, really good ones.
We sound like a Department of Tourism for Texas. Maybe we are. Y'all come on. If you like to drive, go explore the next town over. And again, that's still good for us. I don't know how that's working for everyone there, but just take a drive by yourself. We personally have an RV. We plan to take a whole lot of drives by ourselves because we kind of took this to a new level. We're professional escapers. So we're good at joy.
Yeah, I've talked to some of you when I'm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and Valentine, Nebraska, and Hershey, Pennsylvania. Yes, I've been to Pennsylvania. I apologize to you people talking about your toll roads. But, yeah, you can have fun. And, the best thing you can do when something is not happy, not perfect, is throw love at it. And love and peace are real, real close. And you've got to understand that since now is a moment of power, then all you can do is just be whole, be loving, and that will do more than just heal a virus.
And we do have a lot of questions here. Thank you guys for writing them in. Some are very much based on this new reality we live in, so we want to make sure that we address those also, because there's some new things we have in stock that are probably not your basic things that you're taking.
Yep.
That we can tell you about to help give you a little bit of an arsenal for your medicine cabinet. And y'all pretty much cleaned us out of our arsenal yesterday.
Janet ordered extra, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I thought I was ready for this, and apparently I was not ready for this. And I'm sure we're not through it all yet, but we are, like I said, trying to keep everything as much as we can, and we'll get it back in stock as quickly as possible.
She's scrambling. She's stressed, and she's still peaceful.
Yeah, I'm having joy.
It's a choice.
That's right. So, Alan has a question. It says, Dr. Lewis, after a full knee replacement last year, I was given a prescription of amoxicillin and told to take 2,000 milligrams 4 500 milligram pills an hour before any invasive procedures, including a dental cleaning. Will this occasional 2 to 3 times a year use of antibiotics destroy all of the good bacteria in my GI tract? Thank you and Janet for all your help in guiding me towards a healthier life. Aww.
Who wrote that?
Alan.
Is that Alan from Maine?
Yes.
God, I love that guy. Hey, Alan. Yeah, it'll destroy your bacteria. But, I get people in that are very anti-medical, which I think they're nuts for being that way. I'm on antibiotics right now. Antibiotics are not a bad thing. Your medical doctor is your friend, your osteopath, your nurse practitioner, physician's assistant, etc. Don't be poo-pooing them coming in my office because I'll defend them. We work with them, not against them. Yeah, if you have to take them because they know what they're doing. But then you can really, we sell the holy heck out of good, oh my God, good probiotics, and most of them on Amazon are dead, according to one of the ex-FDA inspectors. Learn to brew your own. Not that I needed one more thing to do, but Big John brought me a SCOBY, and yes, I finished the kombucha. Penny wanted to know about that experiment. Yeah, it tastes good. A little bit sweet, a little bit tart, and carbonated. And Big John says, must be good. And, yeah, it's good. You can reestablish that. And because, we've got some new, oh my God, good stuff. One of them, helps with the immune system, your gut, and it's got in it something called arabinogalactin. Arabinogalactin is from the larch tree. It's a fiber. It's really
claw. It's cat's claw.
Well, the arabinogalactin is with the cat's claw,
right. But the cat's claw is like a patented water-soluble cat's claw.
Yeah, but for you that say, but I'm on cat's claw, it's like, yeah, but this stuff works about 90% better or 9 times better. I don't know how they figure that, but it's not your regular cat's claw. It'll go in and actually work. So between the cat's claw and arabinogalactin, which help keep your good probiotics alive and give them a home where they can grow much more rapidly. So thank you, Alan. And
we're actually using that product, GI Immune, which is what Dr. Lewis is talking about for our new immune system product, because like I said, a lot of these products are now on back order. Immune Essentials is our big one that we had for respiratory stuff. It's supposed to be back in stock. This corona is a respiratory borne illness, so the Cordyceps that were in the Immune Essentials was really good. But we are also in the process of making another one that Dr. Lewis might tell you a little bit about. We don't even have it on the shelf yet, but should have it by next week. Mm-hmm. It's called ProImmune. It's actually a prebiotic, and that's things that you're going to start hearing more and more about as time goes on. It's prebiotics.
It's a prebiotic and a postbiotic.
Prebiotic. And it's called ProImmune.
And it increases your level of immunoglobulin A, which is the one that takes out viruses. Hint, hint.
And that is something in it called Epicor, and Epicor is a registered ingredient. And if you look up Epicor, the reason they found that particular product is because the people owned a cattle feed type operation where they were producing all this feed, and they had this ingredient in their feed, and the people that were working in the plants, they noticed their lab, when they ran lab work, always looked great. And the people that
never got sick, basically.
Right. And the people that were working in the office were getting sick, and their lab didn't look so great. So they started wondering, well, why are the people that are in the plant healthier? Well, those people had their hands in this feed, and
they were inhaling it.
And what it is, Epicor is like a fermented Saccharomyces boulardii. It's not your regular Saccharomyces boulardii. It's fermented. And Dr. Lewis can explain a little bit how it affects the IgA, which is what this does. But
that's enough. We got enough questions. It's coming. It's going to be really great for your immune system. And this is just for information. We can't say that any kind of supplement really fixes the immune system. But Lord God, we're not getting it out of our food. We need to get it from somewhere else. Your body is made by God. All things work for good, folks. So you throw it in, ask God to bless it, and you do get better and better and better.
So that's coming. So, Alan, he's supposed to go ahead and take his antibiotics and not worry about it.
Well, I think you need to do what your doctor says.
I do too. Andrew wants to know what the difference between quercetin bromelain and quercetin bromelain ultra and straight quercetin is.
Well,
he heard Jack mention on a podcast something about quercetin, so he wants to know what the bromelain brings to the table, I guess.
Because they're synergistic when you put them together, 1 + 1 equals the power of 2, 3, 4, 5. It really synergistically works much, much better together. Plus, in there, you have a lot of massive amount of enzymes, which kind of unlock the bad things and make things work. Yeah, we used to use bromelain with great success. We used to use quercetin straight with great success, but this combination is like kick, butt, take names, good stuff. I take it every day.
Okay, and on the same subject of quercetin, Jim asked, does quercetin and zinc work on viral outbreaks?
It can help. Most of us have low zinc because it's just not in your food like it should be.
They don't have low zinc anymore. They completely sold out all across the United States. That's the one thing they bought.
all the good companies are back ordering zinc, and because it's chelated and it's much more absorbable, we'll get it back in stock as soon as we can. And you have it in our active multiminerals, which I'm going to get into that in a minute too. But you can't really say any supplement can kick a virus, but if you can boost your immune system, it definitely helps your immune system. The lower the zinc, the lower your immune system, and yes, there is research to support that too.
And Jason wants to know, is garlic an effective antiviral or immune booster?
Yes, but I think there's things that are much more effective. There's a certain silver that actually works real well. I like olive leaf, and we've got one much stronger than we used 2, 3, 4 years ago. We love lauricidin. There are things that, in my opinion, work better and better and better. But yeah, garlic, you've got to be careful with garlic, because I used to get a spoonful of that bulk already minced garlic, and I love it. But the only way it really works to a large effect is that if you get a fresh clove of garlic, crush it up right then and there, and then put it in your food. Or if you get the supplement garlic, which we do have, it has to be enteric coated so it releases at a specific spot in your GI tract. It's got to do with allicin and allinase and all that chemical stuff. So either eat it fresh or get the enteric coated. Otherwise, it's just tastes good and vampires won't bug you.
Okay. And Amanda has 2 questions. She wants to know, what is your take on apple cider vinegar, taking it daily? I like apple cider vinegar if it's the good brand.
Yeah, I hated it. It tastes like apple cider vinegar.
I think it helps my gallbladder. I take the Bragg's apple cider vinegar, the one that still has the
it's good.
Stuff in the bottom.
Amanda, I think that's Janet's cousin up in Podunk, Oklahoma somewhere.
In Oklahoma somewhere.
we stay in Oklahoma a lot, but yeah, it works. And if that really helps your digestion, then you really would fly if you'd take some good digestive enzymes. But yeah, I'm not taking it, but
yeah. And she also wants to know, does turmeric help with type 2 diabetes?
It can, but the best thing, and most people don't want to admit it, get your head out of the trough and quit eating that nasty stuff like sugar and simple carbohydrates and grains and things like that, grains and potatoes. It can, but every company has its story about turmeric. Is it about it's really hard to absorb? So there's still a question about, is it really hard to absorb, or you just don't have the full spectrum turmeric?
Which brings us to our next question about sugar. From Dakota, can eating too much sugar affect your energy levels? OMG, yes.
Yeah, that's why I got a case of Snickers. But then you crater and crash after that.
So it's worse. You actually feel worse than when you were up on the sugar high.
You're better off going keto, because when your brain starts burning fat rather than glucose, you have more sustainable energy. I'm a big fan of keto.
Very good. We're going one more question, then I'm going to let Dr. Lewis finish with what he would like to say about staying happy and full of joy. Darlene wants to know, what about Metamucil? She read that it helps to lower cholesterol too, but she figures that's only to be taken for when you're constipated. So I guess they're doing the fiber for lowering cholesterol.
Yeah, it does a little bit. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. We try to give people things that have more natural fiber, like eating an apple, or we actually have a organic protein here that has the fiber to it also. So, I don't know, don't want to badmouth anybody here, but I would not stay on Metamucil for any reason, for anything.
If you're eating the good fruits and vegetables, why would you need fiber? And people worried about the cholesterol. You want to finish that question, or was that finished?
She wanted to know if it helped lower your cholesterol.
Yeah, but, it number one, it may not be bad. I mean, there's plenty of books, Cholesterol Myth, Cholesterol Hoax, Cholesterol Clarity. I mean, high cholesterol can be a thyroid problem, selenium deficiency. It can be all sorts of things like bad zinc conversion. Most of us don't have enough zinc and selenium. It can be plastics and low thyroid. It can be equal to high cholesterol. It can be a copper deficiency. And we've got a lot more questions, but we'll get to them the next time.
So we've come to the end of our show again. Dr. Lewis, would you like to give us any words that might be inspirational to someone to help them get through this time and give them hope and joy and laughter and light so that they can have some kind of something to look forward to in the weeks ahead?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be inspirational to different people. I'd love to inspire people more than I do and help you get healthier and, for God's sake, get happier. One of the things that was said years ago, and I read a lot, and thank God I got a good memory, some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream of things that never were, and say, why not?
Okay. So if you guys are new to our show and don't know how to get started feeling better, go to our website, greenwisdomhealth.com. Fill out our health survey. That will lead you to a lab panel where we can get you started having a life worth living. And please keep sending in your questions either via our website or shooting straight with Dr. Lewis. We love the questions, and I hope you love our answers. And we hope you guys have a very blessed and joyous week ahead. And we'll be here next time on the Green Wisdom Health Show.
Once again, our show has come to an end, but your hope in your health is only beginning. If you or a loved one are in need of a different outcome and are waiting for a brighter future, take the first step and go to our website and fill out the health survey. Please don't keep us a secret. If you know someone that could benefit from this podcast, please share this show with your friends and family. You are only one step away from a life worth living.